SkyFort, the new TTSA, Lou Elizondo weighs in. Okay, before I get into it, please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and as I'm going through it, comment below and let me know what you think. By the way, this is part of a series that I call Parsing Lue, where I take segments of interviews that he has given and examine them in greater detail. Okay, let's see what he had to say. This is a bit of a long answer, so be patient and let's see what Lou had to say about SkyFort.
Money. It is a strategic think tank that is helping us navigate and advise through this very interesting topic. This we've never really had a conversation like this before, and so being able to, I've mentioned this before. Pardon me. There are 5 pillars of emphasis, very much like an intelligence or a military campaign. You have to make sure all are coordinated and you don't get out in front of the headlights too far on one of them. The first one is legislative engagement, and that's engaging our elected officials, letting them know where to find the data and the seriousness of the topic. Right. Then it's executive level engagement, and that second pillar is engaging our department heads and secretary level leadership, letting them know where they can find the data, right? And certainly to their own organizations who are experts within the organizations, they can leverage it, et cetera, et cetera. Right. The third pillar of emphasis is our international engagement, and that's engaging our friends and allies in other countries and their governments and institutions and organizations to share information, get into a formal information sharing relationship like we just did with Japan. Yeah, and several other countries now that are happening. The fourth pillar of engagement is media engagement, mainstream media, letting them know that it's okay to report on this topic, and despite the stigma taboo historically associated with this topic, you should report on it because it is one that's important, and it is scientific, and it is academic. And then the last pillar of interest, if we will, or emphasis that we dedicate to is public engagement. Exactly what we're doing here right now, right. Letting the people know that whether you're around the dinner table or the water cooler, it's okay to have a conversation about this, because ultimately, and probably this is the most important pillar of all, because if the people say it's okay to have a conversation, then you're more likely to have your elected officials and mainstream media reporting on it, right? Sure. Again, because they feel it's okay to do so. Absolutely. And so it's very important. So what SkyFort does, back to your question, I eventually get back to it. That's okay. Is that they are helping us navigate these and to make sure that we move together collectively as a process, all of these pillars, making sure that there are specific touch points within each of those pillars that you want to make sure you engage. And SkyFort has been extremely helpful. The connections that Sean Cahill has managed to amass with folks like Jesse and Jake are enormous. They all have experience like you do on social media and YouTube and delivering content, but they also have investigative backgrounds. They also have media backgrounds. They also have Hollywood backgrounds. They have the backgrounds necessary to orchestrate, if you will, or conduct the orchestra in a way where now you're making music. Instead of just little bits of sounds popping up within the orchestra, the French horns are playing their own tune while the violins are kind of screeching out something over there on that corner. The guy on the timpani in the back is just rocking out to AC/DC. It only works when everybody is playing together and in a coordinated manner. And that is that's the elegance of SkyFort. It is a one-stop shop to help us recognize those strategic touch points and make sure that the right message is delivered so people can make well-informed decisions.
Brilliant. I just wondered if there would be any actual research involved as well, looking at cases as well, or...
There will be, but again, think of SkyFort as a big umbrella, right? And under that big umbrella, you're going to have several little umbrellas with verticals of different level, different interests that they're going to be engaged in. Yeah. That's why you see in there it's an incubator. I'm not owner of it. I don't have any financial interest in it. Yeah. But they have been exceedingly helpful, helping us navigate this landscape, both for Chris Mellon and myself. Mm-hmm. They know what the hell is going on, and when you are in a military campaign, you want good advisors. That's what you want on your team. Of course, people out there, the haters, are going to speculate, this is 2.0, TTSA, these guys who just want to, it's another money plug, or Lou owns the no, I have no financial interest in this. I'm not, all I am is an advisor. I'm not on the board of directors. I don't have any voting privileges. I'm not getting any money out of this. In fact, I suspect if you were to talk to SkyFort, they're probably losing a lot of money because they're donating most of their time to support this activity. They're not
Right.
making a penny right now
Sure.
for this. So, anybody out there who's listening in your audience that, wants to throw arrows, they probably need to do a little bit more research,
Sure.
before they start making, unqualified conclusions like that.
No, that's great. Thank you for talking about it. I think a lot of people were, when they first heard the name, I think it was Tucker Carlson, something that produced a document on one of his things.
Yeah, I was not ready for that. Wow, okay.
Yeah, I think everybody eyes widened, like, what is SkyFort? So no, thank you for clarifying your involvement and a bit more about what they intend to do in the future. That's great.
So SkyFort is not necessarily the next TTSA, but it is a similar project in a way geared toward disclosure in a very strategic way with very sophisticated operators. Lue doesn't want to call it TTSA 2.0, but it sounds a lot like it. However, Tom DeLonge seems very intent on the business aspect of TTSA and of trying to make TTSA profitable. And it looks like SkyFort is losing money. So, people give Tom DeLonge crap for monetizing TTSA, but maybe there's something to that because that does keep the operation going. So maybe SkyFort does need to find a way to monetize. I know, but if it keeps the company going and if it keeps the disclosure movement going, it's a good thing. If you think something different, that's cool. Let me know in the comments below. I would actually be more excited about SkyFort if Lue was one of the founding members or a partner or if he owned part of it. That would make me more excited about SkyFort. But it's interesting that he only mentions himself and Chris Mellon. Does that mean that Hal Puthoff and Steve Justice, two of the other bigwigs at TTSA, have they not joined SkyFort? What are Hal Puthoff and Steve Justice doing with their time if they are not joining SkyFort? What are they up to? Because I am very intrigued by Hal Puthoff, and I, love the X-Files life that he has lived. And whatever he's doing, I want to know. Similarly with Steve Justice. He ran Skunk Works. Lockheed Martin built Area 51. And what does Steve Justice do? He joins a pro-UFO disclosure group. He knows something. He probably knows a lot of things. So whatever Steve Justice is doing, if he is trying to advance disclosure, I would be very interested. But yeah, so SkyFort is a disclosure movement with various aspects, various facets, and some are more geared toward the public. Some are more geared toward politics, and it looks like even the public face of it is geared toward politics. If the people are for something, the politicians will ideally be for that as well. So it's all to galvanize the government and to get the government to officially act on these matters. That has been Lue's mission from the beginning, is to get the government to do something, and he has been very successful. Him and his team. SkyFort shot to prominence on Tucker Carlson when Tucker revealed that they had been the ones to release the FBI documents showing UFO activity, Tic Tac-like activity especially, since the 1940s or 50s. But it sounds like Lue and the others aren't ready for a big public reveal. They're preferring to keep SkyFort in the shadows for now. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do and hope for the best. Hopefully we get some movement from them and something public going, because whatever Lue and Chris Mellon are doing, I want to know. There's really not much more to say about SkyFort until they reveal more. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, comment below and let me know what you think. What is SkyFort up to, and what are Steve Justice and Hal Puthoff up to now that they've left TTSA? If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, and if you do, the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. Until next time, Cosmic Road out.